good things happened, the Lord worked in so many different ways. One of the first ways I like to talk about is how I was able to see the Lord's hand at play in everything when he constructed our team. It was amazing to see how he used our different strengths and differences to accomplish so many different events. One's where one person lacked, another was able to fill it. We used the gifts the Lord has got that we had to plan a week's worth of VBS. After we heard this, our team hopped on that planning train and started chugging. Some of us in the education ministries program, we were able to look at the groups and we were serving and say, this is how we should reach these kids with the gospel. The same was true for educational program team, educational team members. They were able to say, let's make this practical. Making our lessons plan, we were able to divide up the tasks and the events to run smoothly. Some of us worked on crafts, others worked on games, and others worked on the Bible lesson. All this to say, we were able to come together to create a VBS that we can plan and help spread God's love in the gospel. Working with so many people, different gifts, really humbled me and showed me that the importance of working on a team, that what I was learning here at Emmaus, I was able to apply to the missions field. The second way the Lord worked on this trip was how, when going to these different ministries, I saw the need these kids had for Jesus. Seeing the kids in their broken, abused, poverty-filled, neglected, hungry states revealed to me that what these kids truly needed was to accept Jesus and as their Savior and have a relationship with him. That even though their salvation wouldn't save them from the worldly struggles of starvation or physical needs, but they were promised a home in heaven. Thirdly, a way that God worked was when we were doing street evangelism. We were walking up and down the streets handing out gospel tracts, and I was handing one to a man, and he stopped me. And he asked me if he could ask me some questions. I said yes. Soon I realized that he did not want to hear any of the answers I had, but he wanted to express his doubt and his anger towards God. During this time, other members of my group joined me in this conversation. The conversation lasted about 30 minutes, and it was going nowhere. He wasn't listening to what any of us were saying. But the craziest part is that he knew so much about the gospel. He knew specific people, he knew specific verses, he knew context, he knew all these things about the Bible, and yet his heart was hardened to accept the truth and living it out. By the end of the conversation, I felt so defeated. As we drove to our next location, I just started weeping.